Most businesses don't take the time to develop a product strategy, a clear strategy for the products and services that they're going to deliver in their business. This is the process that we use. It's part of a bigger process, but it's one of the things that we need to think about. And really, it's around a tool called a product portfolio analysis. So, a product portfolio analysis is a tool developed by Boston Consulting Group. It's often called Boston Squares, and what it does is get you to look at 4 phases of product growth: wildcats, stars, cash cows, and dogs. And I'll go into those in a bit more detail. But what they really align to is a normal growth curve, and this is a typical growth curve you see also in plants, where we have a seedling stage, a rapid growth phase, a maturity phase, and then a senescence stage or a decline. And what we're talking about here is this is the wildcat. This becomes the star, the rising star. This becomes the cash cow, and this becomes the dog, the dead dog thing. So it's looking at that sort of growth phase, but looking at it in this sort of matrix. And if we look at the matrix in a little bit of detail, what it says are there are 2 axes to look at. Market attractiveness. So how attractive is it for a competitor to enter the marketplace and deliver this product, a similar product to you? And that's about a whole heap of things about the size of the market, the potential profitability of it, like margins and those sorts of things. Barriers to entry. So are there lots of barriers to entry that will stop somebody coming in? Legislation, requirements, all those sort of things. So that they all impact market attractiveness. And then on this axis down here is business strength. So how strong is this product within your business? So it's not just about sales, actually. It's about contribution to profit. And it's also about things like synergies with processing and manufacturing processes. So if you've got, if you have to have a whole separate process for it, it's not as synergistic as if it fits into your existing program. Similarly, does it fit into your existing product portfolio? And could it be a lead product for something else? All those sorts of things. So, is it a natural extension from what you're doing? So all those things will determine its business strength. So we can score it on each of those axes and work out where it plots. And then if we look at the four areas, we've got the wildcat here is typical of that sort of rapid startup product, right? So it's a wildcat, and it can either bite you or lick you. It can be very expensive to maintain with not much reward, and it can drop dead on you at a moment's notice. So think about those as the characteristics of a wildcat product. A star product is a rising star that's on a rapid increase and is growing. So that's product that's still attractive in the marketplace, but has good strength within your business. So that's a star. It's in that rapid growth phase. So it's a shooting star. The cash cows are the products that have not nearly as attractive for somebody else to get into, but are really strong within your business, and we call them cash cows. Yeah, and the cash cows, what would you do with a cow? You maintain it, you feed it, you look after it, and you milk it. Okay, so that's about cash cows. And then the last one here is a product that is low in business strength, low in attractiveness, and it's a dead dog, right? And we've got 2 options there. We can either bury it and put it away, put it out of its misery, or we can, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Sorry about that. Or we can give it the Lazarus treatment and kickstart it and take it back up into the wildcat or the star category, or back here into cash cows. So they're the things we can do. We can start to take strategic actions around these things. And that's how we'll do it. And I'll step you through the process in a minute. So an example could be, if this is a retail store product, portfolio analysis, you can have it, and you can look at this pre-COVID. We're in the middle of COVID at the moment, but you can look at this now and in the future. Now you can actually put these on the same graph if you want, but if you looked at their products now, so we've got retail shops in high rent areas, we've got retail shops in low rent areas, would be a cash cow for us. We've got online sales over here. So this is a retail store. So we're selling products through retail stores in high rent areas. Really difficult at the moment. In low rent areas, a bit of a cash cow for us still. Online sales is moving rapidly in this wildcat, and this is pre-COVID, was in that wildcat moving star phase. Now, if we look at post-COVID, then we're over here and we're saying, okay, so what would we do to make this? Oh, sorry, I should mention the size of the circle is indicative of the level of sales in that. So most of our sales were in retail shops. A big chunk of it was in retail and in low rent, and some of it was in online. But what we're saying is post-COVID, we want less of it to be in this area here, and we're starting to move this dog up into Rising Star Wildcat territory. So we're going to reduce the number of them and transform them into experiential shops to test new options. With our retail shops in low rent areas, we are going to build the size of those. So we're going to renegotiate rents and move from high rent areas into low rent areas. And then in this one where we've got with online sales, we're going to grow online sales and pull it down from being up here on the Wildcats into a Rising Star, transferring down here. Now, so what we've talked about is where would we like this to move to, and what are the actions we need to take in order to do that. Now, and here's a new opportunity. We're going to open online sales in new country, right? In a whole new country, we're going to expand globally. All right, so that could be an option. All right. So the exercise here is to quickly map this, and there's a long version and a short version. I'm just going to step you through the short version. If you'd want the long version, just let me know. So how do you build it? Well, you define your products and services. You plot each product on the matrix, and then you review that matrix to work out where your gaps are and where the concentrations are, and you look at each product to determine where you would like to see it in the future and what the biggest priorities, and then determine some actions required to move things around the matrix. Now, the important steps here are to do the plotting and then review it. So if you look at it and all your products are in the cash cows and moving towards dogs, it tells us we've got to do something around bringing on some Wildcats and some Rising Stars. Similarly, if all your products and services are in Wildcats and Rising Stars, we need to be thinking about what have we got to do to move some of these products down into the cash cow thing. And likely, also if you've got a whole heap of products in dead dogs, what are we going to do about those? So looking at the concentrations is first and foremost. And so let's just step through. So we've put a bit of a template here for you to do that. So the first thing is list your products and services. Now, if you've only got one or two products, the things you can think about are there additional products we would like to offer, or are there components or packages that we could do differently, set up as a product or service? Can we break it down as components? And do that thing slightly differently. So you may end up with only 3 or 4 of these. That's okay. Then plot them. Just simply say, how attractive is it in the marketplace? Where is it in terms of strength in our business? And plot it with either, if you just plot it with a 1 and make the circle relative to the size of the level of sales in your business. All right. So probably down here, you need to put sales in here. Just do it in thousands is close enough, or tens of thousands, depends on how big your business is. Once you've done that, then you can certainly start to look at it and go, righto, what have we got to do to move some stuff around here, and then develop your key actions, determine who's going to be responsible for them and when you need to get them done by. Yeah. So really the next steps is just to get on and work that process. So if you want, I would flick back to this step here. So you've got these actions up. Pause the video right now, and then use the template to map out what you would like to have happen in your business, so that you end up with some clear product strategies, because the vast majority of businesses fail to actually have any clear strategy around their product and service offering. Of course, if you've got any questions, just flick me an email or a text, or give me a call, and happy to help you out. Cheers.